What if the only thing standing between you and the life you dream of is the one problem you keep running away from? It sounds simple, almost too simple, but think about it. How many times have you avoided something difficult? That one conversation, that one decision, that one risk. Not because you couldn't do it, but because you were afraid of what might happen if you tried and failed. This is the story of a man named Arman, a man who spent most of his life running. Arman wasn't weak, he wasn't lazy. In fact, if you met him, you'd probably say he had potential. Big dreams, big ideas, but every time life challenged him, he stepped back, not forward. Growing up, Arman had seen struggle. His father worked long hours, his mother sacrificed everything. And deep inside, Arman promised himself one thing: I will change my life. But promises are easy, action is not. In school, when things got tough, he distracted himself. When exams came, he told himself, next time. When opportunities showed up, he hesitated, overthinking, doubting, waiting for the right moment. But the truth is, the right moment never came. Years passed, and slowly, something dangerous started happening. He became comfortable with avoiding discomfort. At first, it didn't seem like a big deal. Missing one opportunity, avoiding one challenge, postponing one decision. But over time, these small escapes turned into a habit of running. And here's the thing about running from problems. They don't disappear, they grow. Arman started feeling it. That quiet frustration, that heavy feeling in his chest when he saw others moving forward while he stayed stuck. He wasn't failing because he couldn't succeed. He was failing because he refused to face what scared him. And deep down, he knew it. One night, everything changed. It was 2 a.m. The world was silent. No noise, no distractions. Just Arman and his thoughts. He sat on the edge of his bed, staring at nothing. And for the first time in his life, he didn't run from his thoughts. He faced them. Why am I like this? The question hit him hard. Not with anger, but with honesty. He realized something painful. It wasn't failure he was afraid of. It was the feeling of being exposed, of trying his best and still not being enough. So instead, he chose not to try. Because if you don't try, you can't fail. Right? Wrong. Because not trying is the slowest and most painful form of failure. That night, Arman made a decision. Not a loud one, not dramatic, but real. I'm done running. No more excuses, no more waiting, no more hiding behind fear. The next morning, nothing magical happened. There was no sudden confidence, no instant motivation, just fear. But this time, he didn't run from it. He walked straight into it. His first challenge? Something small. He applied for a job he didn't feel ready for. His hands were shaking. His mind was screaming, "You're not good enough." But he clicked, "Submit." And something shifted, not outside, inside. For the first time, he proved to himself that fear doesn't control him. Days passed, then weeks. He kept doing it, facing one problem at a time, having difficult conversations, learning new skills, taking risks, failing, trying again. And it wasn't easy. There were days he wanted to quit, days when the old version of him whispered, "Just go back, it's safer there." But he didn't, because he had learned something powerful. Fear doesn't disappear when you avoid it. It disappears when you face it. Slowly, life started changing. Not overnight, but steadily. That job he applied for, he didn't get it. But instead of quitting, he improved, applied again, and again, until one day, he got a call. Then another, then an opportunity, and with every step forward, his confidence grew. Not because he was the smartest, not because he was lucky, but because he stopped running and started facing. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. The problems you avoid today become the chains that hold you back tomorrow. And the problems you face today become the strength you carry forever. Fear is not your enemy. Running is. And with every step forward, his confidence grew. Not because life became easier, but because he became stronger. Because every time you run, you teach your mind that you're not capable. But every time you face it, no matter how small, you rewrite that belief. So the question is, what are you running from? That goal you keep delaying? That fear you keep avoiding? That life you keep postponing? Maybe it's time, not to feel ready, but to act anyway. Because courage doesn't come before action. It comes after. The problems you avoid today become the chains that hold you back tomorrow. And the problems you face today become the strength you carry forever. Face it, one step at a time, one fear at a time, and watch your life change. Not because things got easier, but because you finally became stronger. Fear is not your enemy. Running is. Because every time you run, you teach your mind that you're not capable. But every time you face it, no matter how small, you rewrite that belief. So the question is, what are you running from? That goal you keep delaying? That fear you keep avoiding? That life you keep postponing? Maybe it's time not to feel ready, but to act anyway. Because courage doesn't come before action, it comes after. Face it, one step at a time, one fear at a time, and watch your life change. Not because things got easier, but because you finally became stronger. Because courage doesn't come before action, it comes after. If this story made you think, even for a moment, don't ignore it. Take action today. Do one thing you've been avoiding, just one. And if you want more stories like this, stories that push you, challenge you, and remind you of your true potential, subscribe to this channel, because your transformation doesn't start tomorrow, it starts now. Subscribe to this channel because your transformation doesn't start tomorrow, it starts now. Subscribe to this channel because your transformation doesn't start tomorrow, it starts now.